I'm Amy. I'm living in Chrysalis. I look like hell because I've been doing a deep dive into the Jaclyn Hill lipstick situation. Let's get to it. Welcome or welcome back. Well, of course, everything I'm about to say is my opinion, my conspiracy allegedly. Yes, I've been watching a lot of Rich Lux. But yeah, I um I think that the thing about the situation that's really grabbed everyone is that what we're looking at here is the consumer's worst fears. Since the advent of industrialized food and cosmetic products, the ever-present threat of tainted goods is never too far from any sensible consumer's mind. I mean, I'm old. I remember when Tylenol was tampered with and someone actually put cyanide into Tylenol. And people died from this. That's why we have the safety seals on medication bottles that we do now. I was a kid when this happened, and I remember it very well. The scares around Halloween candy also started when I was a kid. That's when they started insisting on, factory sealed candies, no more popcorn balls and candy apples from your neighbors. No, you would only eat the stuff that was completely sealed in a factory. That's when people started doing more, um, you know, organizational parties, and apparently that evolved into this whole trunk or treat thing, where in some communities kids don't really even go trick-or-treating anymore. Now, fortunately, they still trick-or-treat in my neighborhood, but I give out toys. I give out little toys. Part of it is because as someone with food allergies myself, or a food allergy, sensitivity, whatever you want to call it, I'm gluten-free, not by choice. And so it makes me more sensitive to food allergies. So I tend to buy those little those little like party toys. Oh, I think it was either middle school or high school education. We had to read Upton Sinclair's Jungle. For anyone who hasn't read it, you might not want a snack. If you want to go on a diet, read The Jungle. That's about um, early food manufacturing and the sort of taint that would come into those products at the time. I mean, obviously, even now we get recalls for salmonella. We get recalls of spinach. I adore a fresh spinach salad. I still haven't had spinach. Oh, beef. There's all sorts of things. Mad Cow, remember that? Pepperidge Farm remembers. But all jokes aside, when photos of defective, possibly likely tainted Jaclyn Hill lipsticks started hitting Twitter and the rest of the internet, it kind of blew up from there. And that's kind of where I've been living since the launch, essentially. I've been doing a deep dive into a million videos and things, just trying to find out what was going on. It is now after midnight on Wednesday night. I am trying to get this ready for my Thursday morning 6:30 post. I know. Like, the only one that demands I be on a schedule is me, but consistency. I'm trying to be consistent, at least for the time being. Until I have a huge fan base like Jaclyn Hill, and then it doesn't matter if I don't post for months and months, because my stans will be there for me. Come on, stans. Let's get some stans here. Oh, and that reminds me, if you haven't already, please subscribe. Like, share, all that stuff. Not that I have any major tea or receipts. I'm not going to pull up everybody else's receipts. I will be posting the names of channels that I've been watching, and of course any information I've gotten from these is, about this situation is from these channels, and I certainly encourage you to watch their videos. One that really struck me, and she's very small. She has less than 150 subscribers. I actually ran into her in a comment section on a bigger channel. So I went to check her out, subscribed, and she has an over hour-long video of her cutting into several of her lippies. Of course, there was some annoying person in her comment section giving her a hard time about the lack of quality, editing, blah, blah, blah. But you know what? I think in this circumstance, I believe that the raw footage was actually the best thing for this situation. Clearly, this woman is not slick. She's no professional YouTuber. She's even smaller than me, if such a thing is possible. But what I appreciated was how she really dug into them and really took her time. She found embedded fibers. She found all kinds of just nastiness. And so I just want to give her channel a little shout out. But some things have still bothered me. In several comment sections, I've seen comments that that indicate that the little fibers coming out of the lipsticks appear to be a form of mold. Now, obviously, it doesn't appear that anyone's actually tested the lipsticks yet. I think her name is Diane Watson from ABC News. I saw in a couple of channels. Apparently, she's asking people to send her their lipsticks so that she can have them tested and see what's going on with this, which I think is fantastic. At this point, especially given how much time has passed by, and the tardy statements by Jaclyn Hill and Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics, I certainly think that an investigation into what is actually going on with these lipsticks is a fantastic idea. I got so disgusted with her and with the nonsense, the lack of communication, the stonewalling, that I actually returned my Dark Magic palette. And for anybody who's been around my channel, I really love those colors. The palette's performance, not so great, but I was really trying to make it work because I love the color story so much, and I didn't have anything like that. Still don't have anything like that. And I returned it because I just got completely disgusted. And I don't know. Now, I had been having trouble with it anyway, but I'm just so disgusted with her. I don't know if I'm even going to try to repurchase it to get a better one or not. Which really stinks because, okay, I've already gotten rid of my Wet n Wild stuff because of their shenanigans. Now I got rid of my Dark Magic palette because of Jaclyn Hill's shenanigans. Jeez. It would be so nice to just be able to enjoy things. We have seen some photos from online of, people showing Oh, there was one girl who posted a photo of her lip, and it was, uh, she said it was cut on a lipstick and it had this weird bump on it. Get thee to a hospital, please. Apparently another girl posted that something happened when she put the lipstick on and she wound up with like a $600+ hospital bill from going to ER. Look, things happen. Could the labs get contaminated? Consumer products get contaminated? What has bothered me the most in this entire situation is the way that Jaclyn Hill, or Jaclyn Cosmetics, has dealt with, or largely failed to deal with, the situation for this entire length of time. She starts with essentially bashing a customer who tweeted her with a real concern and showed photos of the product. Then when others started coming up with it, for the longest time, all she did was just insist that they were safe, insist that they were fine, kept sticking to this story that I swear she had to have pulled out of her behind. My opinion, my conspiracy, allegedly, that quality control was using white fabric gloves to inspect the products. It beggars belief that any cosmetics lab is going to use white fabric gloves, with the possible exception of maybe any final step of putting them into boxes or touching just the outer cases, in which case the product should be sealed off from, by the case, from any outside contamination. Now, the photos on the internet, and I'm not going to post them. I don't feel like pulling them. Anyone who's interested in this issue has already seen this. Showed fibers clearly embedded, which means that the molds themselves were not properly cleaned. If your ingredients, such as mango butter, have such a low melting point, according to Angie Berg's, it's 86 degrees Fahrenheit, why would you launch this sort of product in the summer? She lives in Florida. She should know better. Now, I waited until very late to film this because I was waiting for a statement and possibly a video from Jaclyn Hill to come out. Apparently it has. I saw Rich Lux's video on it, and he already seems like he's, leaning toward giving her the benefit of the doubt. I'm not so easily charmed. The one thing that I did admire is that she has said that she will accept returns of the lipsticks and replace them and refund. So apparently the customers are going to get a refund and a replacement. That's terrific. That's terrific. But is she going to refund their shipping? Is she going to ask for a new set of shipping costs to mail the replacement? As we all know, the shipping and taxes right out of the gate were a fiasco. She had to refund a bunch of people for their priority shipping when they weren't receiving their products in a timely manner, and people who did not pay for priority shipping were actually getting their lipsticks ahead of time. Just this entire thing is just such a mess. I'm very interested in hearing what you think about this situation. Do you think that she was negligent? Do you think the lab was negligent? But either way, then she would be negligent for not stopping that. Do you think that the the release of faulty products, possibly actually tainted products, adulterated products, there are visibly, at the best case scenario, fibers inside the lipsticks, embedded therein, which means they were in the molds. That's the best case scenario we've got. Hopefully it's not something that was in fact growing out of the molds, as has been speculated by people who have more knowledge of biological sciences than I do, I imagine. But again, they're in comment sections, so I'm not going to cite that as any sort of evidence. But I'd really like to know what you all think. I'd really like to know what you think. Let's have a conversation in the comments. Of course, keep it respectful. We're all adults here, or at least most of us are. And for those of you who aren't, this is an adult zone, so put your big kid panties on. And of course, thank you so much for watching and supporting my channel. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. Thanks.